Welcome to the Lessons Learned by Lisa show, Father's Day edition, and you will not be disappointed as I take a stroll down memory lane with my own father, Mr. James Storr, and my youngest son, Devin Michael Cole. Welcome to the Lessons Learned by Lisa show. And today, in honor of Father's Day, I have none other than the man that gave his contribution so that I could be on this earth, none other than my daddy, Mr. James Storr. Can you please welcome him to the show, show him some love? Hey, Daddy, what's going on today?
Everything, baby girl. Everything is up with you, baby girl. My first girl.
So today, with Father's Day coming up and approaching us, and I just was reflecting. I was like, oh my God, my daddy is going to be 80 this year. I am sure there's some things that has occurred in his lifetime that I don't know, maybe he might have done a little differently, or maybe he said, oh, I'm cool with what I did. But if you could just share some words of wisdom, some words of encouragement to those that are fathers since you've been on this journey. I mean, at least for me, almost 55 years coming up in August. Let them know what you would, how you approach that fatherhood thing.
Well, first of all, I can say this much. You're the only child that I planned to have. The rest of them, I love them all just like I love you. They were accident. You were planned.
And look what you got for planning.
Yeah, the biggest harasser in my life.
So when I was a little girl, what are some of the things that you had hoped you had instilled in me that I could be using in my adulthood now as a father? Things that fathers should instill in their young ladies to kind of prepare them for life.
The one thing I noticed about you from the get-go, you stood up for what you believed in. You will not back down from anybody, not even me, but you knew you were right.
And I'm still right, ain't I, Daddy?
Yes, you did. I would watch you. We had friends over at the house and discussion. Even though you were a child, you got into the adult conversation when something wasn't going in your favor. And you would let it be known how you felt. And nobody can back you down because you didn't.
Well, I guess some things ain't changed.
Well, actually, some of my friends, oh, that little girl, she's so ill-mannered. I said, no, she ain't. She's just assertive.
No, I just had an opinion and I wanted to discuss, and I'm just going to not believe just because you said it, just because you happen to be an adult. Show me some proof and I'll go along with it.
No, one thing, I'm happy that I gave you that opportunity to do that. I never reprimand you about that. I thought
that's a good thing. You allowed me to be me. So now as an adult daughter, now.
A daughter.
I'm always going to be your daughter. What are some of the parenting styles that you have going on now that I am no longer a child as per se, because I'll always be your baby girl, but I'm a grown woman now making my own decisions, having my own family. What are some of the things that you try to talk to me about and instill in me so that I pay attention that I may not see because you got this 80-year wisdom thing going on?
Well, first of all, I always try to get into your personal business. I want to know who you're dating, who you're with, blah, blah, blah. And every time we talk, I ask you about your friends. And of course, I always mention my other daughter, who's not really my daughter, your best friend, Darlene, and her husband, who is one of the best fans in the world.
Oh my God, we're not gonna go there on my show today, Daddy. This is not the platform.
You invited me. I didn't invite you. You invited me. You know what? I need to have your sister sitting next to me so I could be coached.
Not
I mean, I don't mean Darlene. I mean your real blood sister. My baby girl, my real
my
baby
sister
girl.
Tina.
Yes.
Because she'd hold me down. She'll hold me down.
Oh yeah. She has your number.
So that is one of the things that you do. And I can say that as a father. So I'm gonna share a little bit. Like for me and my father, our journey hasn't always been smooth. And what I appreciate most about my father is that he does, in fact, allow me to be me. And I know without a shadow of doubt that I was probably not one of the most easiest child to have to navigate through this process of life. Because like he said, I had a mouth and I had an opinion at a very early age. But what I can say is that as I grew up to be an adult and I got to try to see my life and see my father through his lens, that I had more appreciation for his walk in life, some of the things that he's experienced, and how, at first my father wasn't real cuddly feely about the love thing, but I find that as he got older, like he would be telling me he loves me more often, and like how much he cares about me, and that used to kind of scare me. I was like, am my daddy dying? Because he was never that kind of the emotional guy growing up. But as an adult woman, I can find myself that I can go to him and I can be real with him and I can tell him things in confidence, and he's going to give me information and instruction. And sometimes it may not be what I want to hear, but he will give me a perspective from a man that loves me, that cares for me, and that wants the best for me. So Daddy, I want to say that I appreciate you. I know that we have struggled along the way with our communication, because sometimes I just want to be me and I don't want you to just tell me what to do. I just want to figure it out sometime. But I want you to know that God picked the right daddy to raise me.
Well, there are two things I expect from all of my children. If more than a week goes by and I don't hear from them, I'm having problems with y'all. I enjoy talking to my children because we can talk about anything, anytime, anywhere.
We sure can. Some things that people would probably say, you talk to your daddy about that? Yep, sure do. And the good thing is that because we have able to be honest and open with you, I can have the same type of dialogue with my children. So Daddy, I thank you. I thank you that you're not easily offended by things that come out of a mouth. You can take responsibility and accountability for your parts in the equations when we have disagreements. And I tell people all the time, it is a blessing, because there are very few people that have both of their parents that are living on this earth in my age bracket. And my parents are healthy, vibrant. They think they're younger than me. Sometimes I have to let them know, like, y'all got to chill out, because you up there in age now. You ain't 16 no more. So I just want to say thank you, Daddy. I want to honor you on this Father's Day weekend. I hope that you are living your best life. Know that the mailman will be dropping off something for you from me.
Why the mailman? Why not the bank teller?
Well, because I just decided to go a different route this year. But you end up with the same result.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, baby.
So I just want to thank you. And so is there any words of wisdom or encouragement you would like to leave with the people out there to tell them about what fatherhood actually means to you, and the things that to give people hope, to encourage them that this journey is so worth it when you end up with a baby girl like me?
Well, whether you be boy or girl, man or woman, if you're listening to this Zone show, remember this: old age and treachery will always overcome youth and skill. That's why we are called parents. Happy Father's Day to each and every one of you.
Love you real hard, Daddy. Thank you.
Lisa Perez, I love you. Bye.
Bye. Well, we're just going to continue now on this journey of fatherhood. And I got another special young man that's in the house today. None other than my son, Mr. Devin Michael, in the house, who is really officially a dad now.
Yeah. I go by LD now. Legends Daddy. LP, if you want, Legends Pappy. Anything. That's my identity now. And I love it.
Isn't it how quickly it changes?
And I love it.
It just took all over all your life. So on this Father's Day, now that you've got a year underneath your belt, what does it feel like? What does fatherhood represent and mean to you now?
Man, all of those things that you were saying to me for years, it makes sense. Like it's like all the cliches, like not being able. I couldn't even fathom loving something as much as him, nor we've had private conversations about my thoughts on death. And literally, I couldn't even imagine. No, I love you to death, Mama. I couldn't imagine taking a bullet for nobody. Like, nah, I ain't dying. But it wouldn't even be a thought. Like I will jump in front of Russia for my man Legend.
I tried to tell you, you never understand the story until you have your own, but that's a good thing. So now that you've been a father for like 14 months, have you noticed any significant changes in your personality, character, lifestyle since becoming a father?
Yeah, I can say the biggest thing, like off the jump, would be he's corrected my spending habits, like immediately without him even knowing. It's like now, like I think of things like it can be anything that's like something that's $20, $25. It's like, do I need that? Or I could take him to like, so that's the biggest thing that jumps off, is just like the control and the discipline, and the money jumps off first, because that was like one of my, as fast as money come in, money go out with me. And so that's probably like clear off the day. Like I think twice. And the second thing would be not as much as a daredevil. Like, even with the scooter business, of how I even ride my scooter before him, I'm jumping up, I'm not looking at traffic or any of that. Like, so now it's just like little things that
you took for granted before, you're aware of now. Like, you're not willing to take all the risk as you would, because you know that someone else is depending.
I think that'd be the simplest terms of calming and maturing. And it was I wouldn't say it was immediate, but it was like, it happened so fast. It almost was immediate, because like over the span of his first couple months of being here, like those changes were, and like I said, we still fall short at times, but like now it's a thought every single time. And when I do fall short, it's like, why would you? I almost beat myself up about it for an hour or two. Like, why would you do that? And so I like that feeling. So it's improving my day-to-day decisions. And I would say that's the biggest one to change, like almost
instantaneously.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell us what a day with Legend's like for
man? So me and his mother, we have great communication, and so our arrangements work for both of us. So I'll take you through a day when I have him, like in the morning when I get to wake up to my man. So I'm glad I keep my body on East Coast time, being out here in Vegas for the stock market and stuff. So because he getting up no matter what, about 6:30, 7 o'clock if I'm lucky, right? So on those, since I am up now, it's we do breakfast. We usually cocoa melon during breakfast, right? He really likes his egg whites. The egg whites, hard egg whites, will do that during breakfast. He'll eat either like a turkey bacon or a turkey sausage, something of that. And then we got our little fruit smoothies. He like that. I make my smoothies every morning, so he want his little smoothie. So we'll do that. After he eats and throws everything else that he doesn't want on the floor, we usually go to, because it's in Las Vegas and it's 115 degrees by 10:30. We usually take our walk around 7:30 or 8. He really loves feeding the birds. So we'll take a couple bread and we'll feed the birds or something during the day, go on our little walk. When we get back, he really loves his books to his room. I wish I could show you, but I'm on the computer. But his room is, we usually, for about 20 to 40 minutes, that's my time too. I'm getting better at this, guys. But that's like when I try to teach. Let's learn a letter. Let's learn a word. Shout out. I got to give Moms just her shout out, because she's doing a great job at my shortcomings of the teaching. So she's teaching a lot of words, and I piggyback off of that during my times. So we'll read our books. He got 100 books in there, but there's only 2 that we kind of read every single day. So we go through that. My bad, because I could be talking about this forever. But after that, he usually wants a nap, to be honest, because it's early. So around this time, we probably around like 10:30, 11 o'clock now. So it's usually nap time. From there, nap till about 1. Daddy's doing some work while he's sleeping. And at 1 o'clock, he's up like a bat out of hell. He is. This is our playtime. This is karaoke. So we got a list of probably like 20 songs that we listen to every day, ranging from gospel to Future. So, so we do that. We jumping around. We play with our basketball toys and things of that. And then it's kind of, that's the schedule kind of falls off after that. Then it's like, what do we want to do? So one of the things that we've gotten better at, I used to make them before he got here. Now we're starting to make them together, our little popsicles. So he loves that. With it, Vegas is 130 degrees out here because we're about at 1 o'clock now. So we'll sit on my balcony and eat the popsicles and play around. And then it's just all games and I don't know. We learn.
No more structure after that.
Yeah, it's just we winging it. It's whatever the day is.
Well, there ain't nothing wrong with that. And thank God, I guess, with you being an entrepreneur, that gives you a little bit more flexibility with spending those quality times and at these precious years with your son so that you are a vibrant force in his life. So when you see him and he looks up at you like,
man.
Because remember, he doesn't know any of your flaws. He thinks that you are perfect.
I mean, he's pretty right. Like I ain't found no flaws yet either.
Well, that's another topic.
That's another episode. That's another episode.
So okay, so that's how we do on interviews.
Yeah. I got to keep it organic for y'all, man.
So
gotta show you what it's
for
really
those
like.
that are becoming parents, and like I said, you got that year underneath your belt. What would you say to a young man in your position? Of course, unfortunately, you and the mother are not married, so you're not in the same home, and you're trying to raise a child in two different homes with, I would hope, the same type of rules. What would you tell a young person in your position? Some key things that would keep you grounded in making sure that the kid is always the focal point of the decisions that you make.
Ooh, if you younger than me, you gotta know we all mature at our own ages. But one, I'm in this class now. Unfortunately, it was whatever we got to that. But I would recommend that we all, especially if you're not married or whatnot, that you take outside advice. Like, so if there is a parenting class or so, I know it sounds crazy, but I've learned so much from this class as far as like using your second thought. And like, cause usually your first thought is
the wrong thought.
it's covered in emotion. It's covered in, I'm pissed right now, or I'm really happy right now, which either way you can make the wrong emotional decision that isn't best. So one, I know it's usually a lot easier to listen from unbiased people. So that's why I say, like, man, if you know you got a kid coming, jump into class. There's free classes around this country. There's cheaper ones. I would do that, like, because of so much that I learned. And then personal advice, like, that's the biggest thing that I could use your second thought when it comes to conversations, when it comes to coming up with arrangements for how y'all going to attack the kid, attack raising the kid and all those things, like, because it's a tricky thing, and it's going to be a lot of trial and error. So it's not really one advice that I can give that's going to work for you other than the second thought. Like, that's the biggest thing that I can, they give an example in the class. Like, if you shake a Coke up and you open it immediately, what happens?
It splats all over you.
Boom. You shake that same Coke up and sit it down for 30 minutes, then open it. What happens?
Nothing. You just drink it.
Exactly. And as they put that into character of how you react when you're upset. What's going on? If you try to talk moments after you upset, you explode. If you chill for a second, use your second thought, and sometimes not 30 minutes, 15 minutes, however it work for you. That would be my biggest advice, because obviously if you're not married with the person, something went wrong while y'all not still together. So y'all disagree on a lot of whatever y'all disagree on to this day. So now use your second thought, because it'll just strengthen your relationship. And I know how I am with my mama. It's nothing that my dad can tell me to this day about my mama. I don't care. So I know Legend is, because that's how I'm gonna raise Legend the same way. So when doing that, use your second, because you never win that battle, and your son is. That's what the advice I would give. I get to rambling a little bit because it's still so fresh, and I'm still trial and error and learning these things as we go. So yeah.
So we're gonna go to what your perception of Legend now. Like after you spend a day with Legend and after you got to reflect, what do you think goes through Legend's mind when he spends time with you, Dad?
That's crazy. I don't know. I have no idea at all. I almost be so engaged with him.
You don't really care what he thinks. It's all
he think, because it's, I mean, based off his reaction, he's loving it. But that's good. I've never sat back and, well, I'd be like, I wonder what he's thinking, but I've never like tried to pick what he's thinking. I'm like, let me just accept it for what it is. I don't try to get into his brain. His brain will open up when he can tell me what he's feeling soon enough.
But right, you know, based on his expressions, because if you give him some food that he don't like, he lets you know right away.
Oh, he's gonna let you know real quick. He's gonna let you know, too. He's gonna let you know.
When he's tired of reading that book, or he wants you to turn that TV on to Spider-Man or something, he lets you know, Daddy, I'm sick of your basketball right now. We gotta flip the script.
Yep. Uh-huh.
And so this journey so far has taught you that parenting is a lot of sacrifice.
Absolutely.
It's a lot of compromise from what I'm hearing. You have to be willing to be flexible, and communication is key.
Patience.
Which we know you struggle.
Yes. Yes. I am getting better though.
And that's good. Progress is always a great thing. So as we wind this interview down, Devin, is there anything that you would want to shout out to all the fathers that out there, now that you're in this community, now that you got this role, you know, that you can add to your resume?
I think for the fathers, shout out to the fathers. And on Father's Day this Sunday, right?
Yes.
So I think Sunday we should do a worldwide Zoom call with the dads, and we should compare our socks that we all gonna get this. We should compare who got the best socks, because we know we all getting socks.
Wow, Devin,
but yeah,
no,
shout out to the dads, the single dads and the dads in relationships. No matter what it is, it's still tough, and it's more and more of us that's stepping it up to the day. Like I give my people, like, I know it's a big world, but shout out to my circle, because we hold it like there's no bad dad in my camp. There's no deadbeat. There's no, like, we don't even allow that. Like, if you ain't gonna take care of something that you, so just shout out to the ones that's there, because a lot of it, like, I have mine, but there's us just learning this dad stuff as we go, and like, where they ain't no rule book for it, and it's us trying to figure this out together. Yeah,
share experiences.
Yeah, so I would just say shout out to the dads that are being there, because that's the biggest thing. And like a big shout out to Fat Daddy Kane, Darius, Skinny Fats now, because he gave me so many like words, and like it's true. Like these kids don't know what Gucci is, Louis is, who, like, your time, you just being there is huge. So shout out to everybody who just there. Shout out to everybody who's seen their kid today. Shout out to the ones who are going through a little bit of a fight, but they not quitting. They determined to have access, like, because it's tough. And especially as Black men out here, our voice, it gets suppressed, especially if you're not famous or you're not a millionaire. So shout out to the ones that's busting their behinds to go to work, a 9 and 5 without a college or whatever it is, because the obstacles against us, but they are making that effort to go back to their kid, because it ain't nothing more important than that, and it's tough. So that's what I would shout out to, man, because they probably need it right now, because you don't get to talk to nobody either about it. So the ones that do watch it, shout out to you, man. And you got my gram or whatever, hit me. Because as I'm getting older, like, that's the things that's important to me. And I just love like this new generation of Black dads that we receive. And I think from my circle, like if that's any like God, what's the word?
Indication of what the future holds.
Yeah, then we in good hands. Like our next generation will be like, it ain't gonna be I was raised on that. Nah, we here. You might not have had everything that you wanted, but it's
you
here.
had what you needed.
And I'm seeing that trend. It seems pretty like our generation of people, we stepping up and being dads. And I love that. So
and I love that too. So I thank you, son, for taking the time. I thank you that God allowed me to watch you, see you with your son, and I get to observe and I get to see the love that's shared between you and Legend. But I think he still love me more, but you know, I ain't gonna go there. So thank you for showing up for Lessons Learned by Lisa, and to all the dads out there, even the ones that think they ain't doing it right now. We want to say happy Father's Day. Stay at it, love on your kids. Don't let nothing separate you from hanging out.
Hold on.
See?
You can't leave an interview.
What did you say?
Oh, I got it blurred. Hold on.
Yeah, you got it blurred. Can't nobody see, baby boy.
We gotta unblur it. We gotta unblur it, guys. Hold on one second. Hey, how you gotta unblur it? Dang, it's taking too long. Sorry,
it's taking way too long. Technology. So he might be good at being a dad, but he ain't good at unblurring.
Oh, I got it.
Oh, there we go. There we go. There we go. There go my boo-boo. There go my boo-boo. Yeah.
For his first birthday photo shoot.
Yeah, that is good. All righty. Well, holla at your girl sometime. Love you, son, real hard.
Love you, mama. Love.
Thank you for watching Lessons Learned by Lisa. Love you real hard.